I thought it was like a magnet.
This is the one. I had to take the. I look like it. Oh, it's working. There you go. All right, guys.
Screen on that part. Oh,
yeah, it has like a little camera. All right, guys. Welcome to Stop Moving. This one don't be working. I'm turning it off. See what if it's me off.
You're on live on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm turning this off
It's
for now.
Seeing both.
Yeah. Sometimes we do that, but I don't like it. Okay, we just angle it one way. All right. Welcome to another episode of Movement and Mindset. I have a guest today.
Hi.
Tell me your name. Explain it. Who are you?
My name is Jasmine, aka Malaka. Explain what?
I don't know. Tell them a little bit about you.
Oh, a little bit about me. I have a holistic business producing. I'm gonna say producing. I don't sell. Holistic products, trying to get people back to natural healing ways. I also am a single mother. Just living this life day by day. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and she's joining me on our leg day workout today. I think one of our mics is not. It's not dead yet, but once you're done, we can just switch over. Yeah. But we're gonna get going. We're gonna start hitting some legs. We're gonna start with single leg. Party else.
You wanna do it first?
Yeah, go. My allergies. If y'all see me sniffing, don't mind me. My allergies are killing me. This is broken, friend. Oh.
I'm gonna say, hope not.
Never mind. Okay. This is a weird angle.
You need to tighten it a little bit?
No. It's just the angle. I'm not used to doing it this way.
Okay.
But I got it. It is so bad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna do the next rep. I'm gonna lower. I'm gonna do 15s.
Huh?
I'm gonna do 15s like next because this.
Well, you gotta think that you're fasting, so you're.
Yeah, but also the angle of this is so much different. Because the other ones, it's not this bad. Because I'm not slanted. Or my legs are not elevated.
Yeah. How many we were doing?
10.
10?
One more. Woo! You know. Man, the fainting in here. How you take this off? This is. Oh my god. We're gonna take those down. Trust me, you're gonna take these down. We're gonna change those.
Change it?
I don't think you should. I think we should change it. It was rough for me, so I know. We can do 15. Huh? I mean, it depends what kind of sugar. Because right now for Ramadan, when I break the fast, they suggest to break it with some dates because that's glucose, so that's healthy sugar. Well, you can do 15, or you just start with 10. See how that feels. So not just empty sugar. Dates, yes. Candy, granulated sugar, no. There's no point. Then it's like not a benefit to the fast. Well, if you don't want to lose weight, you gotta sacrifice the cookies. The answer is no. You can have vegan cookies if you make those, but even then, at moderate, like 1 or 2. But regular cookies from the stores, no. N-O. No, ma'am. Yeah, the form. Also, if you want to lose weight, you gotta incorporate movement to your body. Fasting alone is not gonna do it. You gotta move your body. You gotta get some sweat. Get your sweat in. Move your body. Plus the fast. I got him. You did so good. You did so good. All right, we're gonna start with our first question. Our first question is, what's the difference between motivation and discipline to you? Look, this right here.
This is motivation, but discipline is if you keep doing it, you force yourself. Discipline is force. Motivation is like motivation has a time limit. Discipline don't. I guess you could say. So discipline is like you're forcing yourself to stay consistent at something because this discipline is hard.
Right.
Motivation can be done in one day and then you don't have it again.
And also motivation fluctuates based on your mood.
On your mood.
Discipline doesn't.
On who motivating you.
Right.
Discipline is focused on your internal and not external.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Discipline is structure.
Because not everybody can withstand discipline. You know what I mean? You have to really have the mindset. Did I? Yeah. For discipline, I struggle with discipline, depending on the season I am in. Depending on the season I am in, I can struggle with it. But when you have discipline, I can put it like this. With discipline, it's harder because you can easily just not do it. They say it takes how many days for you to have a habit? 21 days for a habit. But understand that in that 21 days you have to build disciplined character. And that would be the hardest 21 days. Half the time people can't make it to 5. So within those times, honestly, motivation and discipline works together. There's a difference, but they have to work together to have a balance. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's true. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit. You go ahead and start your set. Look, you go ahead and start your set. You ain't excused. Oh yeah, also, we're talking about discipline and how long it takes to build a habit. Just because you did something consistently for 21 days, you cannot look at that as an accomplishment, because you being disciplined for 21 days and then falling off doesn't really reflect as a discipline thing, because now you've... I'm gonna move her camera. Y'all see her working? But yeah, you have to be consistent even after those 21 days. It's easy to break and make a habit. We've been here since we really haven't been here that long. This is our first set, actually. Well, this is our second set on this machine. We have one more, but it's our first workout essentially. It's leg day. We had 2 mics, but her mic died. So now we got me. So we're just gonna be going back and forth as we talk through this dialogue-based workout. I know, somebody close. All right, so we can get into our next question. Our next question is, can you train discipline the same way you train muscle? And you can take the mic. You think so? Why is that?
Because to train muscle, you have to do something consistently to be able to gain muscle. That's eating right. That's lifting right. You know, lifting consistently, going up on your weight. So being going up on your, like pushing yourself to stay consistent at something so you can get better. Because discipline is like you're doing something so that you can receive a greater outcome. And with muscle, muscle is the greater outcome. So you have to consistently work at something to get muscle. So I guess you honestly you can, because it's your mind is what discipline is. And your mind, your brain is a huge muscle. You know?
What's a discipline that you feel like you are applying to your life as of now, like outside of the gym? Like, what's something that you're working on that you have to be disciplined to do at this time?
Right now, honestly,
Where'd it go? The little food. Oh, it's right.
oh right there. I was like, what is that
I'm
look
like,
like?
wait. I think I can hear him. Excuse us. We have malfunctions. Yeah, put this on. I got it.
So honestly, my discipline right now is emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Is working on my emotional response. So that seems like a lot of like talking to myself,
Yeah.
you know, because I tell people all the time, like working on your emotional intelligence, it might seem like you're crazy, but you have to ask yourself, am I reacting from trauma, or am I reacting from a space of healing? You know what I mean? So that's what I really been like kind of like disciplining myself on. And another one is boundaries.
Right.
Because coming from my background, I didn't understand boundaries, and I didn't understand like having those boundaries for myself so that other people won't step on them or run over me, you know? So coming from a trauma era of like um needing to be, I guess you could say, wanting to people please. So I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, my discipline is saying no. You know what I mean? Not even hesitating to say no if it has anything to do with my peace. So that's my discipline right now. She's like doing that with so much ease. I say you're doing that with so much ease, and I'm over there just struggling like I'm like, how can you do those and not need to hydrate? Because I feel like I'm dying. But she does this every day. And this is my first day getting back into the gym, so let's see how this discipline works for me.
One more. Is that your friend or sister? She's my friend. 3. That's just the last one. To elaborate on what she said. I'll put you right here. I don't like to hold anything. Can you hear me good though? Give me a number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. But she said that she's working on her emotional intelligence and essentially on her boundaries with people. That's a space that I can relate to because truly my whole life growing up as well, I didn't have boundaries and I didn't understand that. And that was a big issue in my younger days, my younger ages, when I was to get into relationships with people. They were like, oh, you don't have no boundaries with your friends. Like, why this, why that? And I never understood. I'm like, what do you mean? They're just my friends. But now that as I matured and as I started to spend time on my own and learn myself deeper, I was able to understand, right, that I didn't have boundaries because I never knew what a boundary really was. In my mind, I had a boundary, just because like I wasn't like kissing other people, touching other people, you know, stuff like that. In my mind I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, but it's deeper than just like a physical thing. It has to come down to the root of it. And when it came down to the root of it, I didn't understand what it meant to have a boundary. And when she said that, it reminded me, I'm like, I want to touch bases on that because I was once in that space. But I had to, like she said, spend time with myself and really learn and study myself, my mind. I have like over 10 journals, and they all are for different things. The way my mind functions, I have to externalize everything. So if I'm not putting it on paper or on content, I cannot retain anything. So once I learn something, I externalize it, and that's how I'm able to apply it to my life. Um, so yeah. Now we're gonna move on to our next exercise. What's the other exercise? RDL?
Yeah.
We'll go to this machine to see what it's about. Say RDL?
No, it's the cable pull through.
We got RDLs on there, right? Does it say? We're just gonna hear them. We're gonna skip. I want to see how this machine works. We've actually never used this one before, so we're kind of excited to see it. I've never used this before. How did he even use it? Oh yeah. Where you go? How many? How many do I say on there?
I was watching that video.
6. Yeah, it's Ramadan. I'm participating this year, so I'm trying to be mindful not to overdo it at the gym. So I'm not able to hydrate into sundown or iftar. One more. Woo! Oh boy, what a drag. All right, try. Your turn. Oh, you know how to do it already? Yeah. Usually, more people that don't really go to the gym, they don't know how to do it. But I spent like 3 months, 4 months with one of my clients trying to teach her RDF. And she was irritated. I'm like, bro, I keep telling her practice at home. She don't do it. Like, you're not gonna learn. Is any of y'all participating in Ramadan this year? It's dramatic. Dramatics.
Huh?
It's dramatic. Oh, we have another question. This question says, what happens when you act without feeling like it?
Right now.
No, what happens? This is what's happening.
This is what happened.
One thing go.
What happened?
Come on. Grab this. Grab this. Grab this.
So again, she said, "What happens when you act when you don't feel like it?" Sure, that's. I give you a hand clap on that one. That was a good question to ask. It's a good brain tugger. Dang, I gotta think about that one. Like you have to think back, like when you act when you don't feel like it. I guess for me, it just depends. It depends on what the action is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I can say if I'm dealing with someone, you know, if I'm dealing with someone and I act towards something, and if I don't feel like it, you know what I mean, it makes it causes me to not give my all. You know what I mean?
Based on the situation.
Yeah, based on the situation. But if it's like, say for instance, like the gym today, I really didn't feel like getting out of bed because I got off at 1 o'clock in the morning, didn't get home until probably like 1:30. Dog shit all in the cage. I had to clean that up. That was an act that I didn't feel like. And this morning I was just dreading it. I got up at like 8:45. You know? But being here doing this and knowing that it's going towards a goal, it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? The gratification, the I guess I get so hooked on focusing on the external. And when I go within, which is right now, we're going within, it feels good when you tap into that. So I guess the happening of that action is like, let's keep doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, like it just depends on what the situation is, you know. Like I said, you know, with my boundary setting.
Right.
Like if I was to like step away from my boundary to do something that I know like goes against my boundaries, it's gonna make me give you a shitty, you know.
Because your system essentially is gonna reject.
Yes, yes.
I feel like once you start to outgrow your old self and old versions of you, things that are the new things come natural, right? And when someone reminds you of your past and try to bring or attach you to that, it kind of like makes you feel away because you're like, well, that's not me anymore.
Yeah, it's like last night because I used to be in the bar industry real heavy. Right. I used to work in clubs. I was, you know, a celebrity bartender. And now that I've like really stepped back and like gotten myself away from that lifestyle, yesterday when they turned on like the twerking music, the hype music, everybody's loud and everybody's like chanting these like vulgarity words and just chanting things that like this so low vibrational.
Right.
I shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I didn't want to be there no more. You know what I mean? Because at this point, like it's going against what I've grown from.
Believe in, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like this ain't me. You know, I was like, I'm ready to leave.
In that job, but
Yeah.
go do your thing. Go do your thing. Go do your thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like,
I also attach it to you can start. I also attach it to like doing like having discipline without reward. Kind of like Ramadan, right? I'm doing Ramadan now. Like there's no instant reward for it, right? I had to actually go through the entire process of the 30 days to see who I am at the end of it. But if I wake up thinking I'm gonna find instant reward today just because I woke up at X amount and you know I'm fasting for X amount of hours, then I already come into it with the wrong mindset, and I'm already defeating the purpose. So yeah, that's what I attach it to. You're doing a great job. I gotta put you on camera. Look at that form. She's killing it. It's her first day back. She's killing it. You're killing it. You did enough. You did enough. Enough. Okay. My last step. You did too, right?
yeah.
I got one more. Here. Actually, the mic ask more questions. But this one goes to you. Who are you when you are tired?
Ooh. Delusional. Delulu. If I'm like extremely tired, my body goes into. Huh? Okay. So when I'm tired, my body goes into like fight or flight mode. like body, mind, and spirit goes into fight or flight mode. And it's like, Jasmine, you have to get through this. I'm like focusing on the end result. Then like just like the now. Which I really haven't channeled that. Like, really pushing myself through tiredness. I feel like when I'm tired, I need to listen to my body and relax. You know,
don't like really challenge yourself when you're like you kind of at that limit.
yeah, I feel like sometimes I do need to challenge myself because there be like certain situations. You know what I mean? Like, how can I say it? I'm trying to like compare it to something. I don't know. I think because since I've been in the service industry for so long, tired for me is like I've been drugged out, from interactions all day, just like completely just being on my feet, going back and forth, back and forth. So tired to me is I'm tired. So honestly, at that moment, I feel like, but like if I'm in the gym and I'm tired, oh, I definitely push through.
Situation.
Yeah,
Based on the environment.
yeah. Because if I'm in the gym and I'm tired, I'm like, oh, come on, girl.
Yeah.
Let's get through this.
Right.
Just don't cheat yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, so when I'm tired, like you can see it on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like that part. Cause I remember when I was pregnant and I was working 50 hours, you know what I mean? And I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I remember one day a customer pulled me aside. He's like, sit down. He was like, sit down. He was like, you got all that belly and you've been running around this place doing everything. He said, I need you to sit down. If you want to make this tip, I need you to sit down. You know what I mean? And a few hours after that, I went to labor.
Oh my God. Go do your set. The fact that the fact that you was working the day of your labor is so crazy. But don't you think of that as like a okay? Like I think like let's relate the same question to like our mental state, right? Like because we just say who you are when you're like physically tired, but what about mentally tired? But I'm gonna start so you can do your set. That way we can switch. To me, when I'm mentally drained, nothing really makes sense. Like I feel like my world kind of like gets clouded and I'm not able to have clarity on anything. I'm not able to physically show up for any task. I'm not able to create because when I become mentally tired, it shows that I push past my physical limits and I overcrowded my mind with work and I did not properly release or regulate my system. For me, naturally, I have to go in nature. After really like 9 times out of 10, after most interactions, I like going to nature to kind of like process, right, and release. Because when you interact with people of different like frequencies, right? So sometimes if you're at the higher energy, like you have to like automatically it happens. Like you pour into them so that they can fill up, but then they take some from you, so you have to go recharge. And that's how I do it. I recharge. I know you have your garden and stuff, so you probably be out there a lot. So for me, it's just going out in nature. I have a dog, but sometimes I can't even take him because it's how he overstimulates me because he sees a dog, he want to chase it. He's running from there, and then I gotta be mindful of like, is he running towards a dog or is he just barking at people? Like I'm like, I don't have time today. So sometimes I do feel like a bad parent. I'm like, damn, but I'm like, he's okay. I'll bring him later, like when I'm back to myself, because I feel like if I can't function, then I know only can take on myself, but I can't even watch him because if I keep pushing through stuff like that, then when I get home, I'm gonna be mean to him and extra parent, yeah. So
and it's a good thing that I would say if you're a parent and you have a child that's, My daughter's 9 years old. So she can actually understand and understand, you know what I mean? So I make sure to talk to her about when mommy is overstimulated, mommy needs time. You know what I mean? So for Maddie, she could tell when I'm overstimulated. Like she does like little gestures as in like hugging me, giving me a kiss. Or she'll bring me something and then she'll like, Mommy, you need to meditate. You know what I mean? Like and she'll like she won't ask me for anything. She won't, try to ask me to like be a parent that day. You know what I mean? I strongly suggest that you talk to your child about overstimulation, because they need to know when they're overstimulated as well. So because with them being in school, being around so many kids, different kind, especially public school, different like walks of life, they have to understand when to open their mouth and allow somebody to understand like I've had enough. My mental can't take it right now. And I can say I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of her for being able to understand that and have that wisdom.
The fact that you are able to like teach her or explain to her, and then that she can actually grasp and know how to deal with you when you're like that, it's important because a lot of parents, instead of like talking to their kids, like what they do nowadays, yell at them, hit them,
and like I have those moments where I'll find myself I'll find myself, and if you do find yourself yelling at your kid, you know what I mean, make sure that you're correcting yourself with them. You know what I mean? I have to find myself like, mommy, sorry, I didn't mean to. That was my own personal situation. You didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Because we're human. We're not perfect. But when it goes back to the question, yes, with our mental, and being tired mentally, yeah, I have to have those outlets that I have to like her with nature. I'm the same way with nature. I have to go touch some grass, align my chakras. You know what I mean?
Silence.
Yeah. So, what AJ say? Align my past today. Touch the grass today. By the way, catch us at the God Body Festival, 26th to 1st.
Yeah, pull up. Oh my God.
Yes, if you're in Houston, Texas, pull up to the God Body Festival. I think they're still selling tickets. Go to AJ McQueen's page. He should be paying for me for this. Free promo. But yeah, it's gonna be some good like child root work, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you guys go see us there because we definitely gonna go live. Like,
for sure.
But we gonna learn some stuff.
God talk, like I probably.
Oh yeah, God talk. Honestly, don't go live.
I won't go live though.
I would say
I'll be too focused.
Yeah,
on,
focusing.
Like,
but
I'll probably just do a review. After.
We definitely gonna go live at the field day. We're gonna let y'all see that field day. That's gonna be.
Oh, there's another one.
What's up?
Who are you when you're hungry?
Oh, honestly, when I'm hungry, I'm normal. I don't eat. I don't really eat much, so my body don't be telling me that like I'm like deprived.
Do you feel like you're?
I don't have a different like personality.
That your system is regulated. I mean, I know you because you do stuff. So yeah. I think I just asked to see, like, if you can tell them how were you able to get your system regulated to this point where when you are hungry, like you just like, okay, it's just like you can still flow through your day without being, you know how some people get mad or irritated when they're hungry and start being mean to people and hangry. Yeah, like how were you able to build your system up to be regulated even through those feelings?
I would say I honestly don't know because I don't know. Yeah, so it's like I don't even think that it was really a regulate. It was more of a trauma thing because growing up, I grew up I didn't grow up like. So I grew up with trauma. Mine regulated from trauma where I would like starve. I would literally starve myself. I would starve myself when I was depressed. So that came from like a trauma thing. So honestly, now I'm actually trying to fix that, like, so I can try to like gain more muscle and, be more lean and have a flat stomach, because that's my problem. I don't eat. I'll go all day without eating, putting any kind of nutrition in my body. I'll just drink tea all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that came from a trauma response, So honestly, my body, it's more of like a trauma regulation, which I have to kind of like get myself out of that, because I don't really like know when
I feel like you have like a set vision or a plan to get your, you don't have to tell us, but just say yes or no. Or like, do you have a set plan to do that? Like move your body from that state?
Yeah.
And what do you recommend people who may be going through that same thing?
I would say talk to someone. Talk to someone.
Okay.
That is definitely something, because I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I feel like if I was able to talk to someone and get that pain off my chest, I wouldn't have to feed off of my emotions. I think that I was eating my emotions. That's what was feeding me. And if I felt that weight off my shoulder, I probably would have had more of an appetite. You know what I mean? And honestly, like, listen to your body. You know what I mean? Because I'm in counseling now. I have to I go to counseling for that. So yeah, for therapy, like, that's my advice. Get some sound help for that. I would say eat the meat, spit out the bones. When it comes to talking to someone. But yeah, definitely, if you feel yourself in that state, or you in that state at the moment, it's definitely better to like talk to somebody, because I feel like once I started talking to someone, I started feeling that urge of not of depriving myself, kind of go away. So, um,
For me,
it's crazy that you asked
yeah.
that, 'cause it's like,
It's funny
now
because
that it makes me think.
you're like, well, I don't eat. I don't eat at all.
So it's like, I don't know.
A lot of people ask me, like, I mean, this is my first year participating in Ramadan, right? Like the full spectrum of it. And a lot of people, yeah. And a lot of people are asking me, like, how are you getting through Ramadan, etc. I'm like, well, honestly, I mean, I'm in school, I do the gym, and even before school started, I would wake up because I can't work out on a full stomach, anyways. So I would just get up, go to the gym. I usually have clients after that. I'll go train them. After that, I probably run errands. And then after that, I probably go do side quests. And by the time I make it home, it's already 6, 7.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I went all day without eating, anyways, unintentionally.
How many we do?
12. And based on that, like I'm already not eating. So I'm like, I've done that multiple days at a time, and even I'm now a vegetarian. So my transition from eating meat to vegetarian also was a transition that took place unintentionally. I was like bloated one day. I had a really stomach virus, and I detoxed for like 3 days, so I didn't eat anything at all for those 3 days. So I tell people like
Are you telling how you prepared for
no,
Ramadan?
I was just telling like how fasting for 12 hours isn't like like something that I have to force myself to do because I'm used to doing it. Like, and I also fasted for days at a time. So 12 hours really not that much time. And on a day to day, like I normally don't even eat till like the evening anyway, because I'd be ripping and running throughout the day. And I don't even think about food, you know?
And I was like, no. Not really, because so for me, Ramadan for me is helping someone in need. That's kind of how I, you know, give back. You know what I mean? Because I really feel like I'm not. I'm already doing. I already really kind of do that. You know what I mean? I do fast a lot. There's days where I'll fast from drinking. I go like 7 days at a time and like no water, no food. Um, so, but yeah, but there is different times that I do fast. During the Passover, I fast. During Purim, which Purim was just over. So, I did do a 7 day fast for that. So I'm always fasting. Purim, it's a feast time.
What a lot of people you go to do like that. A lot of people only tie like Ramadan to just fasting, but I feel like it's more than that. It's about the discipline that it takes to just follow a schedule, right? And hold yourself accountable. And it's kind of sharpening your mind too. Um, Discipline, structure, the same habits. So this prepares you. It's kind of like a whole. You become a new being, not like in a mythical way, but like literally, like when you, I feel like change isn't always visible, like appearance wise. It's felt from the inside out. The actions that you take, the way you execute. Are you a procrastinator still, or do you have the discipline to show up to the gym to take care of your health? Um, do you have the discipline to not react based on emotions, right? Can you regulate your own emotions? Can you control yourself? So I feel like that's a mindset change, evolution, really, that it's not visible. But just because it's not a physical change, I feel like a lot of people often don't. People overlook that as if it don't mean as much as, oh, the muscles popping out on my chest or something. But really, I feel like it starts from the inside out, and that should matter more than the way someone looks. Is that it? You done? What's the last one? We have one more. I think that's the. It's gonna be. We can do right here. You do one side, I'll do the other side. It's the elevator glue bridges. Glue bridge. And then we got a cold plunge. Right here.
Do that.
No, I'm excited, right?
I'm excited.
Let me. Let's. Yeah, we're gonna leave it on.
You're gonna be allowed, and I'm gonna record on my phone.
Okay. I think we have one question for this before we go into the cold plunge questions. Where was I? Oh, who are you when no one is watching? We're gonna do it on the same side.
You know, I was about to say a big bag. But
You like you're on the floor, but your feet are up here. Like you're this part, but you're laying on the ground. Now what we doing? That you're gonna be showing. What you gonna do? Elevated room. I'll put this on your jacket. Elevated. You're gonna be a little higher up than I am because your legs are a little long. But and hold for like 2 seconds.
okay, come down. Scoot over.
But tell us, who are you when you're not watching?
Honestly, quiet as hell. So because I'm a extrovert around people, and then when I'm by myself, I'm more like quiet. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm more harder on myself when I'm not around people. um, sorry, I can't really talk doing this.
Let me talk while while you finish. When no one's watching, I'm in work mode all the time, and I have to remind myself to rest. I feel like that's something that I am learning to do this time around this year. I had to learn that rest is as just as important as the work. Who? Oh yeah, like to the max. To my man. Shut up. Yo, dang, look at the Oh yeah, do it, do it. I can't take it serious. But yeah, I had to remind myself that rest is just as important as the work. Cause I'm like, even like I be like, I'm gonna only do this for like 1 hour, and then I put a timer even just to try to hold myself accountable, like to not go over that, and I just snooze it, or I just put an extra 30 minutes, and I'm like, damn, it's 10 p.m. and I've been doing like just kind of like, cause I'd be working on 10 things at once, but that's why I had to learn structure. So this year I made like an actual structured plan so I don't overindulge in tasks and drain myself mentally and physically. Cause
Where do you think that came? Like, where do you think that you developed that from?
what? That productivity having to do something all the time?
Yeah.
That came from, let me think. Oh, it came from when I was depressed. When I was in the military in Guam, I spent so much time in the house because the person I was dating was kind of like mentally abusive.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't really allow me to do much or leave the house or just hang with people because my friends were his friends. But when we like had into our little, we started going downhill, they were his friends and I had no friends. You know what I mean? So I didn't have no friends outside of his or him. So I really didn't know who I was as a person.
Right.
And I really didn't know what group of people, like people would invite me out, but me not knowing who I am outside of him, it was hard to even find people to be with because I'm like, damn, I don't know. Like, and I was very like, I wasn't even, I thought I was a very confident and conceited person when I was dating him, but after we broke up, I didn't feel anything. I was like, who am I? Like, I don't like this. I don't even like the way I look,
So
really.
You put yourself in a lot of things to like occupy, like to take your
To
mind
take
off
my
of
mind
it.
off of facing my own self, really. But that's what like that's when spending a lot of time alone and actually journaling and asking myself those questions, like talking to yourself. Like I had to get out of that mindset, but now it comes from a place of just wanting. Like I see a big vision for myself, and it's no longer from a place of depression and sadness. Now it's from a place of I want that. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's why I'm like, okay, I know it, I'm gonna get there, but regardless how much I do today, it's not gonna happen by tomorrow.
Right.
So pace myself so that I can have a clear mind come tomorrow and be able to execute on more tasks rather than trying to compact everything into one day because that's not how it works. So that's where it comes from.
Like that. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm kind of the same way because I'm more harder on myself. Um, Same like coming from trauma. I was raised in a household where we didn't do. I mean, I was the only girl, so my dad was so like overprotective of me, but not knowing that the trauma was coming from within the house. So him trying to protect me to keep me away from things was only making it worse.
Because it was keeping you locked in.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, so when I got older, I things started being more impulsive for me, as in like always doing something, always needing something to do, always needing something to take me off of my mind off of things, not really sitting with the things that I needed to sit with or sit with myself. You know what I mean? So now I'm at that I'm in that season where I'm like, just take your time, and then like being more transparent. There's a lot of things that I would just hold inside and not talk about. I kept my, I don't know if you see my video, but I was molested by my brother. That was who
You posted it?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. You can go watch it. But my whole life I kept that, trying to protect him. I kept that to myself, and I thought that I healed from it, but I really didn't, because I never told anybody. Nobody knew what I was going through. And my brother's been in prison for like 12 years for something else, but my family was making it hard for me, because they're like, you don't write your brother. They're like digging me in my throat, not knowing like what he did to me, and like the reason why I can't associate myself with him. You know what I mean? And for like that trauma, it caused me to like disassociate with family, because I had this thing that I just wasn't telling them, and I felt like nobody understood me. And then I had to think to myself,
well, how can they?
How can they if they don't?
I went through that.
Like my whole life, I was in and out of like mental hospitals. This happened to me when I was 10 years old. So my whole life, I was in and out of mental hospitals. Everybody's like, I didn't raise you that way. You're not crazy. And
But you don't know what happened.
yeah, nobody knows what happened to me.
Did
And then,
they even ask?
and then as an adult, no. As an adult, I'm like, Jasmine, how can anybody know what happened to you if you don't talk? So like at 30, 31 years old, that's when I end up like coming out with that and telling. So I'm in that phase of my life where I'm being more open with how I'm feeling and what I need to say. You know what I mean? That comes with the boundaries. So I'm not caring about how someone feels, you know? So
I had to learn too, because I used to be one person, like, I don't say certain things because I want certain people to feel a certain way. But I had to learn that I'm not responsible for anyone's emotions.
Yeah, I'm responsible for mine only, and my family still struggle with that. And now that I came out with that, they struggle with like the knowing of what happened to me. They still don't accept it. You know what I mean? Especially in the Black community.
Yeah, because they're like, that's not.
No, they believe me, because I showed them the letter that my brother confessed to it. So the healing for this brought on because my brother wrote me like 2 years ago, and it literally like he confessed, but he didn't apologize. He
just said what he did.
So it made it, and like I honestly felt like it happened all over again. You know what I mean? And I went through extreme depression. Like, it was bad. Like, I felt like it happened to me all over again, because I was like, wow, I did not heal from this. I just covered it up. You know what I mean? And at that moment, when I came out of that, when I brought myself out of that dark place, I was like, I have to let somebody know. I have to talk to somebody. And that's when I started being more open about it. And like when I told my dad, that's really when it like broke me down, because like my dad cried. Like it makes me emotional now, but my dad cried, like just to see my dad like break down the way like I didn't pay attention to my baby girl.
Like
He felt like he was protecting me from the external world,
but the internal was a problem.
Yeah. Because growing up, my dad was on drugs. He was very abusive. But I was always still his little girl. You know what I mean? So, it hurt him. It hurt him more, And, but like I told him, I was like, I don't need y'all to cut him out your life. I just need y'all to understand where I was, like, and why for so long I blamed you guys for what I was going through, because you guys never chose to get me help. You never chose to figure out what was wrong with me. You just told me that I'm not crazy.
But never asked
you know, because my parents, I was like, y'all just continue to be emotionally unavailable for me. And I was like, at the time, I needed that. I needed parents. I needed parents that were like emotionally available for me because I checked out. I had checked out. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't get through school. I couldn't get through high school. I couldn't get through no kind of schooling because I was in a mental hospital the majority of the time. You know what I mean? So picking myself up now as an adult, like it's really impaired. I'm impaired to do this. Like I can't take my mind off of it. You know what I mean? Because I have somebody. Look, I have somebody now. Like I can't transfer that curse over to her. You know what I mean?
So is that what kind of like force you to look at yourself like, okay, I need to deal with things not only for myself but for
yeah, because that's how generational like curses like go into the next. Yeah, because I have to break the chain. Like I know that's like something that people say all the time, break the chain, but it's for real.
and it's
It's internal. It's both. It's internal and external. You know what I mean? Because you have to go within and you have to pay attention to the outer world as well because of what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Because especially when you have a child, they're in the external world. You don't know what the traumas that she's being achieved to from other families. You know what I mean? So when she comes home, I have to like have to focus. Like my child made me so proud a couple of weeks ago. Well, last week, and she was in yoga class and she forgot she had yoga, so she had wore like a skirt, and a little boy was like looking up under her skirt. And so she got up and she went and told the teacher, "Hey, he's looking at my skirt and I'm uncomfortable." And so they took the boy and they was like, "Oh, I was looking at her socks." You couldn't even see Maddie's socks that day because she had high top shoes on. And so what they did was they kicked him out of yoga for the rest of the year. And because I was like scared because I was like, why are they calling? Why are they calling me? Why do I need to call them? And then she was like, I just want to tell you that I'm just so proud of Maddie. Like she spoke up. And I was like, it literally brought me to tears.
because she has a voice.
Yes.
And she knows how to use.
And so, girl, I went and picked her up from school early that day.
I'm gonna go get her.
And they had the book fair, and I splurged. I was like, I don't even got the money to do it, but I'm gonna do it today.
What you want?
I said, you get what you get. But like, I was just so like, and like coming from what I experienced as a young girl, you know. So for my young girl at the age of when it happened to me, to be able to speak up, and I didn't speak up. You know what I mean? I didn't say anything. You know, so um, oh no, huh? Yeah, you dropped it.
We're gonna do some coordinate with the splurge. You said splurge, didn't you? That's why I'm like splurge.
Yeah, but yeah, girl, that was such like a happy moment for me, and I was like, I'm doing something right.
I've done good.
I'm doing something right.
But sometimes as a parent, don't you feel like, damn, you may not be doing enough for her sometimes?
Yeah.
But when stuff like that happens, they remind you, like, okay.
It's always God, like in the back. Like I told you, I was gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna put too much on you. You know what I mean?
None that
just water.
It's just the color.
You know, people be like spilling their water on here, and then it gets that.
We got leg raises. Then we got a cold plunge.
But I can say I'm very proud of you. I've been very proud of you. Right?
Don't say that.
Huh? I have been very proud of her. Yes, I've been very proud of my friend, and make sure you let your friends know that you're proud of them. We don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't know if you hear it enough, you know, or if you even tell yourself that, you know, make sure you're telling yourself that. But it does help for her to continue to grow when she has people in her corner that lets her know that she's doing the damn thing. Yeah. But yeah, I've been really proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that because, like, yeah, I do tell it to myself, and it's crazy because on my way to school, like maybe a week and a half ago, I was saying that. I'm like, damn, like, don't nobody like say that, but it's not like I need it, but in a sense, it's like it's not because I need it, but it's more like it's good to hear. You know what I mean? Especially from the people that you spend time with or interact with or live with even like people in my house don't tell me that, my mom don't tell me that, my brothers don't tell me that, like from your own space. But it's like, damn, that's why I need like I try to remind myself of all I've like where I've been.
Yourself and like find people like you have to surround yourself with people that feed you in the way that you feed yourself.
Right. And that's the thing, like people be like, because I have a therapist too, who's like, oh, you have to surround yourself with people. I'm like, yeah, but I can't just put myself around anybody just to have company. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna be with just people just to be with people with no real value or meaning, then I don't exactly like this. I'm not gaining anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I'm not going to insert myself somewhere I know my spirit do not fit. I just it's exactly, and I'm not comfortable in spaces like that because I'm instantly irritated. I'm like, I do not want to sit here. Like I'm ready to go, and so I'm like, I avoid that because I already know I'm not gonna like. People invite me. I'm like, what is it for? Who's gonna be there? What is it about? Oh, it's no real meaning behind the interaction. I'm not going. There's no point. It's like for what? I could be doing something productive, or I could just.
You gotta have friends that know who you are.
Exactly, and I feel like no one do.
Because like with us, like I knew that like you would be interested in like
Oh yeah, and when you invite me on the hike,
yeah, the things that I like invite you to, I know that it's you. I'm never gonna invite you to something that I know you're not gonna be comfortable, being a part of, you know. So that's what you have to surround yourself with. It's people that.
But I feel like outside of you, like haven't found no one like that. So I'm like, I'm either if I'm not with you, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it's really no point. Like I learned because at first I used to just feel like I needed a lot of friends, but it's like I only needed that because growing up I didn't have. I never felt seen or heard.
I feel like, have you ever like felt that? Have you found yourself feeling bad that you don't have like childhood friends?
Yes.
Oh my god,
bro! I used to honestly, I used to cry up to like maybe a year and a half ago. I used to cry because I'm like, damn, I don't have like a group of friends. Because like people be like, me and my friends going on trips. Me and my friends we having a gallon time. We're doing all. I'm like, damn, I don't got no friends. Like, bro, you know what I mean? I mean, this year I got invited to one, but really they're acquaintances because I wouldn't consider friends because I don't call them up or they don't, But I was like, I'll go. Yeah, it was from volleyball people that I know, but. I'm like, damn, like I used to literally be sad about it. And my guy friends never understood that. I'm like, why you crying, bro? I'm like, because I'm a girl that don't have girlfriends.
Friends like AJ.
No.
You gotta be his groupie.
I ain't no friend group. Hold on, whoa. I ain't no groupie for nobody.
We're talking about a friend groupie. Friends.
Hold on there.
We don't want to be those.
Monitor your language because the audience might not grasp.
No, not that.
Not that groupie. She meant friends, okay? But yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy because this guy from the car last night, he was like he was wanting to take me out and stuff like that. He asked me to take me out or whatever. I was like, do you listen to AJ McQueen?
That's my first question. Do you listen to AJ McQueen? Yes or no? Yes or no?
He was like, no, but put me on.
Yes or no? The answer's no.
Yeah. So I was like, look him up. Look him up. And try again next time. Learn something for yourself. I don't know. It's so hard for me to date now because I'm so intentional about who I want in my life. I'm so intentional. And me being intentional allows me to have the discernment on what I'm accepting. It's
Somebody told me, I met this, first of all, it was a crazy event, but not even an event. I was at the park after, because, I go to school, but in between my class, this was Wednesday. In between my class, I have a gap between 11:50 to 3:30 to go to class because I have a lab at 3:30. So I ended up going to the park. I got food and then I was at the park. Why? I don't know. I was chilling and then I saw like a person. He was sitting on the bench. He was laying down. He looked very organized, but he was homeless. He was organized. He was an older black man, and he had his stuff like in a bag and stuff, and he was just chilling. Like he was walking around for a little bit, and then he laid down. And I was looking, and like I don't know, something inside of me was like, because I'm like, because it's crazy. Because earlier that day, I'm like, I'm gonna go spend this 20 because I had I had $20 cash, and I had the rest of my card. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna save this for another time. So I ended up just paying with my phone tap. And then when I got there, I was like, something's telling me like to go give him. Ask him if he ate because I'm eating. I'm like, I wonder if he ate. And I'm like, let me eat, let me do my thing, and then before I leave, I'm gonna make sure I stop by there. So I go to my car, grab the $20 and some gum. I don't know why I grabbed gum in my head. I'm like, why do you want to give him? I'm asking myself this question. I'm like, why? I'm like, why do you want to give this man gum? But okay. So I start walking over to him, and I'm like, hey, excuse me. Like he had a blanket over his head and stuff. He was like, oh, hi, baby girl, how are you? Like he was kind, or and then like he's an elder, and I'm like, oh, I just wanted to make sure, ask you if you ate. And he was like, oh, yeah, I had something to eat this morning. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I hope you don't mind. I just wanted to come over and give you this. And he was like, oh, wow, thank you. Like, God bless you, baby girl, blah, blah, blah. Well, he didn't call me baby girl a second time, but that's just mom. He was just like, God bless you, whatever. And he was just like shocked. Like his face was confused, but like relieved at the same time. And I was walking up and he was like, he said something. I'm trying to remember what he said. I can't even rephrase what he said, but he said something kind of like he said something about God's message, but I cannot think of the exact words he said as I was walking out. And I remember turning around and I remember like smiling, and I remember telling myself like, because in the past, although I wanted to do something like that, I wouldn't be able to bring myself to do it because I was like, oh my God, what if people think this? Or, I'll be too caught up in shit that don't matter. But trusting my spirit and trusting myself, um, was actually like I was basically someone's answered prayer without because I trusted my spirit, like I trusted that intuition that told me like go over there, you know what I mean. And then on the way when I was leaving, I met another guy, and this is the one I was about to say. Like he was like he stopped me as I was leaving. He was like, "Hey, is that your people? Like, is that your dad or something?" I'm like, "Oh no." He was like, "You don't know him?" I'm like, "No." He was like, "Oh, I saw you give him a hug, so I thought you." I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "I was just." He was like, "You were just being kind." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Damn, bro," and I was just like, and I kind of stood like I felt something. He was going to say something else, and he was just like, can I talk to you for a second? He was like, I don't mean no harm. If you don't got time, it's fine. But I'm like, no, it's fine. Come on. Like, so I was in my car already. So he was like, he just came over. Like, he was like from where that stand is. And I was in my car. And he's like, damn, like, it's crazy because I really need to, like, talk to somebody. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. Like, I'm right here. And then he's like, he just started telling me all kinds of, like, started telling me, like, he used to be on top and how he lost everything and how his life is and how he had like he was about to like commit the S word the day prior. I don't want to say that because YouTube, but he was like, I had the weapon next to me and I was thinking about it, and he was like, but I'm not even that type of person, like I've never been that person. And he was like, so he didn't do it, but he said he left work and he's just been walking around because they told him like go take a break or whatever. And he said, I've been walking around, which I seen him doing last, but I thought he was just on the phone or something. But he was like, no, I've been listening to some music, I think like gospel music or something like that, trying to get his mind back in the game or whatever. But he was like, when I saw you do that, like it reminded me of something. So I wanted to talk to you and, just see like, he said, I want your advice on something. And I'm like, I started smiling because I'm like, you want my advice? Like, like, okay. So what is it? So that's what he started telling me. Like, he was like, what would you tell somebody who had it all, lost it all, and found themselves in this position where they really don't know where to go, or they feel like their life don't mean anything, although they know that it do, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of had to, because I went through that situation, not like the S word part and like being controlled, manipulation, and also like feeling what he was feeling. I've been there, so I was able to talk to him about it and tell him things, right? And I was like, I told him like, I'm like, you can like call me, you know, if anything, like, cause I'd hate to lose a brother, you know what I mean? So I'm like, nothing. He didn't even ask for my number or nothing. I'm like, do you want my number? Like, do you want to chat? Like, sometime whenever we have time again, like, I would like to follow up. And he was like, okay, sure, thank you, whatever. So I remember he texted me. He was like, I understand. He said, you are someone of substance, so I understand why you require it. So when you said like you have what you said intentional about about things. So he was like, I understand why you require, because based and it was like just me having a conversation. I feel like when he was talking to me, like I was kind of educating him, not intentionally. Like I didn't like, oh, let me tell him this because I'm better, but for that. But I guess he just like kind of picked my brain, and I explained like tell him my perspective on something. So he was like, that's when he responded like that. Like, I understand why you need substance because you are someone of substance. And I was like, I looked at him like, what do you mean by that? Like, you know, what do you mean by that? And then he was like, no, I just basically how you are and like how you articulate yourself and how you're able to elaborate and without making someone feel small. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, okay, I see. I'm like, well, that's never my intention. Like, when I talk to people, but you know how I am. Like, how I show up on social media, I'm the same person. So I told him, I'm like, I never try to pretend. Like, I don't pretend to be nice to people. Like, I didn't go and record me giving that man $20 because I'm like, that's not what it was never the intention, you know what I mean? So the fact that you saw me do that was just meant because he said, yeah, I feel like God placed you there at the exact time because I just happened to look and seen that, and then he was like, it made me spark that conversation. If I hadn't seen you like hug him, then we wouldn't have this conversation, and who knows where I've been right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, like it was like a whole triangle of yeah, it was amazing though. Like I was happy to be that for them. You know what I mean? So, but let's go cold plunge because I got this evening. Ooh, thank you. Good morning. Grand Rise. Oh, somebody said good morning, Queens. Good morning. Good morning. Grand Rise. Grand Rise. Morning is death. Rising is life. We're life. Okay. Oh, look at my girl. Look. Girl, look at my the tongue of my shoe is inside my shoe. This cold plunge. Actually, I'm not gonna put the cold plunge on YouTube. I think I'm gonna record it for some of us. But we're gonna end. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't get to watch the entire live, once it ends, it will be on the channel. Also, thank you to our guest. What? For being a part of this episode. This is episode 3. If you haven't watched the other 3, make sure you go do that. And shout out to y'all. One more thing. Any last words? Go within. Always respect yourself, love yourself, and live your life with joy, love, and peace. Shalom. Shalom. All right, y'all. Catch y'all next time. Bye.